Hey, we're back. Well, two of the dads. Blake is taking a quick bio break.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard it called.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3. That's what they tell me. Jack Nicholson lives in my head rent-free saying that. Or Meatloaf.
Yeah. I was on the Meatloaf.
You're on the Meatloaf train?
Yeah.
We got A. Adams in the top there. Returning player, still on Scales, I presume. Hasn't changed anything.
Yeah. Scale's my favorite deck in the format.
I think you've told me this.
Yeah. And I love the jerseys.
Yeah, they're on the matching jerseys today. We had his team and then Chris's team also on jerseys in first round today. That was great.
Yeah, they have their names on the back and sort of like elite speak, you know?
Yeah.
Like their online handles are on the back.
Yep.
You know?
Do you have an OCM jersey?
I don't know.
You need to get one.
Yeah.
Joe on bottom, Amulet Titan, obviously his bread and butter.
We've seen both the players on camera so far, right?
Yep.
This feels like ships in the night, sort of.
Kind of, yeah. Like, what they're trying to do requires their opponent not to have removal, and neither of them has removal.
Yeah.
Walking Ballista is sort of A's whole beginning and end of removal.
Yeah, if you have a Walking Ballista that's big enough to interact with Amulet, it's probably big enough to kill your opponent.
Yeah, you've gotten there. So turn 1 Zabaz off of the Ink Moth Nexus. Zabaz modular legendary bug.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one that I've been tempted to build a commander deck with a lot of times.
Yeah.
I just haven't done it yet. But
Boros artifacts. Are we making the second land drop with the Grazer?
Almost assuredly, it is a Karoo, so
Full value.
yeah,
Full value. Not even losing a card from hand there.
probably indicating that there's another Karoo in hand.
Yeah.
The Titan players tend to guard those. But on the other side of the table, we got a Saga.
Oh.
Which
How many artifacts do you think A's on? Couple? I think these.
I think it's probably just 1 or 2.
Yeah.
He's got this legend in play already. He's probably out of
Why would you
targets.
play anymore?
Yeah.
He's definitely This is the Arcbound Ravager.
Yeah, this is the Pro Tour promo.
I'm glad that
Ravager.
you know what it is. Like.
Yeah, I am in the old Ravager days, I had the whole deck foiled out, box opals, everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I still own them, but you know, they're not legal.
They still exist. You just can't play them.
Yeah. So, definitely one of my favorite decks.
Like you said at the beginning, we are seeing 2 ships passing in the night here.
Yeah.
Wow. Both players off to like full head of steam.
Doing what their decks are supposed to do, for sure. I think, on Joe's side of the table, he would prefer to be going a little faster than he is.
Yeah, or A also, right? Like if you could start with that's Scales.
Yeah.
So we have an actual Scales in play now.
So here's a Ballista.
X1, but coming in with 2.
Hey, I'm back. What's happening in here? Scales math?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Jeremiah's. This is Jeremiah's wheelhouse.
Yeah, we're not quite to the math is super important part.
Close.
We're in the.
Well, I see a Scales. I see a Scales and a Ravager in play.
Yeah, and a Ballista. So we've got Ravager, Ballista, and Zabaz in play.
It's likely that this Zabaz is getting sacked right now because this Saga is going to pick up another one next turn.
Yep. And we're putting those on the Ravager so the Ravager can sack itself.
Yeah.
To put those counters doubled or not doubled.
No, it
plus
just adds 1. Yeah.
To the Walking Ballista, and Ballista can just deal with everything.
Yeah. So AA has decided that this Dryad cannot exist, basically.
Yeah, and
he threw a lot of his board into getting rid of it.
I don't know if that was necessarily correct, but I mean,
in terms of am I going to die next turn, it's pretty
okay.
It's the piece that probably does it.
Yeah,
you know?
He already has an Amulet in play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think it is probably correct to get rid of those things while you have the opportunity to, because the Titan deck tends to be one of those ones where if you let them untap with all of that mana, you are most certainly going to get punished.
Yeah. And there's Titan.
Yeah.
So
it was a good thing he killed the Dryad.
It was a good thing the Dryad is no longer
because
here.
he was going to lose his whole board anyway if he had not. Yeah.
Correct.
Because all those being mountains is important.
Yeah.
Right.
Valakut cares about mountains.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great if you had a Sundering Titan. if A can somehow get a Sundering Titan into play.
Oh, the last time that, not this tournament, but a few tournaments ago, we had it was Tron versus Amulet
Yep.
Titan on camera, and Tron had a Sundering Titan with a Dryad of the Elysian Grove in play.
Yeah.
So they just killed 5 of their lands.
Yeah, in typical old man fashion, I'll talk about back in the day, but you used to see the Sundering Titan come out of the mono blue Tron decks pretty frequently.
Oh,
Yep.
sure.
You know,
Yep. So Boros Garrison going to be what picks up, or what this Primeval Titan picks up.
Okay.
Slayer Stronghold and Boros
Sure,
Garrison.
yeah, the two of those.
So the Titan now has haste, and he gets to attack again, searching for 2 more
Yeah.
lands.
This is the classic plan. Like, have mana, have a land that does something. Like, the fact that lands can do stuff other than produce mana still kind of makes me upset.
Yeah, well-
How am I supposed to interact with this?
yeah. But good job on A. Adams' side of things, recognizing that, hey, if I'm going to lose next turn, it's likely to this Dryad.
Yeah.
Right.
And playing accordingly, because he certainly would have lost
Yes.
right now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not in a great position anyway.
Yeah.
But he could have a monster turn. He's got the scales in play, the ballista, and he's going to have his saga going off.
Yeah.
Next
And
turn,
he gets to put his... Oh my god, he put his Beseiju back in his hand. So that now he can bonk
Right,
the...
yeah,
He can bonk...
He can kill the scales.
The scales, yeah.
I mean, he there's 4 cards
Yeah.
on the side of the battlefield that he can choose, or 5 cards on the other side of the
And he has the
battlefield. that
mana
can
to
choose
do
from,
it, too, because he got to untap his
Yep.
Karoo. Holy cow.
But again, this is one of those situations where I think he may just pull the trigger on the Beseiju to get rid of the ballista, because the card is so dangerous.
Yeah, oh, agreed.
It's one of those,
I agree.
what might I lose to next turn, and it's that walking ballista.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Being able to... Like, it's the Ravager math.
How many counters are on the ballista?
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
It has 4 counters on it.
Oh, I don't know. I think it doubled it. It went up, then up again.
I believe it's a 2.
Is it 2? Yeah, 2 makes
I
sense.
could be wrong.
He had to expend some amount to...
It's a round shaped number, so it's either a 2 or a 3.
Okay. Those are hard dice to read. Those are A's dice. I'm sure he's comfortable with them.
Looks like. Okay, so I think is the saga trigger on the stack.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
he's
we're,
gonna kill the
Besieguing in response. Here's 1 mana.
Why is he...
Oh, so he went for the Inkmoth. He felt like maybe he would die to infect damage this turn.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, he's killing the
10 is an
Inkmoth.
easier number to get
Okay.
to than 21, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems... So what is he getting for one mana?
The choices are
Zabaz.
Shadow Spear.
Does the deck still play Ozolith?
Yes, he does have
Ozolith would be
Ozolith.
good. What's Ravager's 2, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's out of contention. You're better at this than I am, Jeremy.
Well, so these decks, they don't stay on the same list very long. That's the hard part.
Right.
You know, unless
Yeah,
you know
they
somebody
change a lot.
Some specific list. They sort of warp to the metagame. There's the Ozolith.
He does
Okay.
pick up the Ozolith.
the Ozil is able to like capture and contain all the
And
counters against
floating 2 mana, I believe. Floating 2 colorless mana.
Yeah.
One from the Urza Saga, and then one from the Inkmoth Nexus
Yeah,
as
he
well.
didn't make a counter. So there's a Zabaz. That's why he didn't get it. So it's going to come in with 2 counters.
It'll get 2 counters.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty heads up thing for Joe to remove the Inkmoth, because I could absolutely see the
Ancient
Inkmoth.
Stirrings here.
The Arboreal Grazer does have reach, notably.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It does.
Yeah, it's an oath. It's such an annoying little pisser.
A lot of Twitter pioneer Twitter people refer to Arboreal Grazer as Lion's Eye Diamond that can block.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
I don't believe that. I was actually told that most of Twitter is bots, and I believe what Elon tells me
Oh
in
man.
true boomer fashion.
Yeah.
Here is an Agatha's Soul Cauldron that's going to come down and immediately exile an Arcbound
dead
Ravager.
stuff.
So the Zabaz
Yeah.
and the Walking Ballista can now sacrifice other artifacts to put counters on them.
Oh my god.
And then they can. That's the only activated ability on Ravager,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
The other one's a trigger. Okay.
they can sacrifice any artifact, so they can sacrifice themselves
Yeah.
to put them on the yeah.
And the Ozolith makes this pretty crazy too. Because we're gonna get some crazy
Holy
counter
cow.
situations.
The gasp that just released from Blake's body.
That walking ballista has 8 counters on it now.
Yeah.
He gets to kill the Titan.
Importantly, we just realized why he went after that in Nexus.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Holy crap! That would have been a very different game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That I 100 years, I could not call that turn.
Yeah.
Pl-
It's hard to know if they
Scales
always
players-
have the Ozolith in the deck or
Yeah.
not. You know,
Right.
It's,
Skills players on a different level when it comes to doing
Yeah.
math.
wow.
Jeremiah, you happy with this?
Okay, so I don't know what's crazier, the Ozolith or the Agatha Soul Cauldron. I think from a pure power levels perspective, it's strictly the Cauldron. But that's the first time I've seen the
It's
Ozolith
sick.
Ozolith do that specific thing that it just did, and that was nuts.
yeah.
With the Hardened Scales in play, it turned 1 counter into 6 counters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, also just shows how well Joe also understands the format.
Sure.
You know, because that a lot of times when you're doing Ravager math, you have a distinct advantage over your opponent as they have no idea that they're dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And Joe may lose this game, but he's done everything.
Oh, he's
he
gonna
can.
besiege you for the ballista.
Yeah, not a huge deal probably to
No,
Adam.
I don't think so.
No, all the counters go in.
All
Oh
the
my
counters
god.
gonna go on
Oh
the
my
Ozolith.
god, they persist.
Not only
This
that,
this
but
card
now
is
he has
a-
a ballista in his graveyard for Cauldron. So any artifact creature is going to just make this situation pretty crazy.
Does Hardened Scales say creature? Because when you
I think it says creature.
So when you move the counters from the Walking Ballista onto the Ozolith, does the Scales put another counter on the Ozolith as they transfer?
I'm pretty sure it says creature. It's been a
Okay.
while since I've actually...
Yeah, it's creature. It has
Oh,
to be
okay.
creature.
So Hardened Scales does not put an extra
Yeah,
counter on the
no.
Ozolith. Oh man.
Man, could you imagine how messed up of a card Hardened Scales would be if it?
No, it's the Ozolith. The Ozolith
Yeah, the
is the
Ozolith
messed
is
up
nice.
card.
Yeah, could be better, obviously.
Here's another prime time.
Clearly.
We're casting another prime time.
Primeval
It's just
Titan.
hard casting into the Primeval Titan. Man, non-singleton formats are wild, dude.
Non-singleton
Yeah,
formats.
so I have been strictly playing 100-card formats for probably the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's always weird to me, like, well, these guys are so lucky they're just top decking these cards.
Right.
It's really not.
There's only
You know?
12 actual cards
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
deck. They're just
There's-
playing 4 of all
Yeah.
of them.
There are 60 cards in that deck, and there are 4 of each card, and they get to see all of those cards.
So while we wait to see what Joe does, which Planeswalker do you guys think corrupted the Ozolith?
Oh, that's an excellent
Which
question.
Planeswalker corrupted the Ozolith? So the Ozolith is on...
Ixalan.
It's on... Is it on Ixalan?
Yeah.
The Ozolith is on Ixalan. Which Planeswalker corrupted
Because the story
Ozolith?
never
Vivian
tells us.
and what's his name were like trying to
Oh.
investigate that.
The story never tells us?
No.
I don't think I've ever read the Ixalan story.
The theory is that Oko did it,
Yeah.
but I don't think Oko did it.
Oko's not on Ixalan.
Well,
he's a Planeswalker, I guess. He
yeah,
can
but
be
like
anywhere.
they never said who did it. But I think
So he's picked up a Sunhome and
Oh my
a
God.
Yeah, so
Vasuva
it's gonna get
copying.
double
Okay, so
strike
this is
haste.
4 mana.
This is-
So
yeah.
So Primeval Titan just
Joe
has haste
taking
here.
out that Inkmoth Dex has saved his life.
All right.
Yeah.
Was that game 1? That's game 1,
That's
right?
game one.
That's gonna
All
do
right.
it for game 1. These players are gonna sideboard. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. All right, players are done sideboarding here. They are taking care of their mulligans.
The saga of Blake not being able to press the mute button on the microphone.
My hands don't work the
It
way that they
persists.
used
Listen, he has a newborn at home. He gets...
to.
We've been doing this every time for the like.
I'm doing my best.
You are doing your best. I agree.
Pendlehaven, underappreciated card.
my
Turn
God.
1 Scales from the Hardened
Hell
Scales
yeah,
deck.
dude! Make your-
So as far as the Hardened Scales deck is concerned, A has taken out 1 copy of Ancient Stirrings, 1 copy of Animation Module, 1 copy of Shadow Spear in favor of 2 Force of Vigors and a Haywire Might. So just looking to kill those amulets.
The Haywire Might, you love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fetchable off of Saga, just bodies on their own.
So,
Ooh,
Again,
yes.
also kill the Dryad and...
Yeah.
because the Dryad
Haywire
is
Might does not
is
hit
an
the Dryad.
artifact.
the
but-
Dryad is an
enchantment.
enchantment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the other sagas.
Real light for Joe. He took out a copy of Cultivator Colossus and a copy of Cavern of Souls. I don't think it's doing much in this match. Bringing in Engineered Explosives and Tear Asunder.
Engineered Explosives, you can tutor for it with Teleria West.
Yep.
So I like that one a lot because the Scales deck, everything that's in there costs 1 or 2 or 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy to kill a bunch of permanents with a Engineered Explosive. So Joe had a turn 1 Blocks Diamond,
Yep.
which put a Valakut into play, and here is a Crumbling Vestige.
Great popper card.
Yeah.
Makes mana on enters, and then it untaps.
Patchwork Automaton is nuts with this Hardened Scales in play.
Yeah.
Every artifact you cast puts 2 counters on it. That Ward 2 is going to be huge. Here's a Zabaz.
Yeah, this. When we talked about steamrolling,
So second Zabaz.
second Zabaz.
Yeah, just going to Legend Rule and then modular over to the Patchwork.
Yep.
Just
Oh
putting
my
a ton
God.
of pressure on her.
So it'll put four counters on it
Holy cow.
because it'll modular.
He just basically chalices his own card and it just turns it into what, 4 counters?
Yeah,
Holy cow.
because it comes in with 2 counters.
Okay, so
Those
I
fall
got. Can I say something? This deck is impressive to watch. There is no way that I could ever successfully pilot this deck.
I would be okay for rounds 1 through 3, and then I would fall off steam.
Hang on, is it a 7/7 now?
There is no way. He turned the second copy of Zabaz into 4 +1/+1
Because it comes in with 2,
And
dies, puts 4 on it.
Yes.
Or puts 3 on it.
It comes in with 2, it dies, and it moves them over,
And it comes
and
with-
adds an additional
So it
one
comes
as
to
it
3.
does it.
So it turns that into 3.
It's nuts.
So he's just
Plus, he gets to put 2 counters on it when he casts the artifact.
Yep.
oh my god,
Yeah, it's a
that's messed
it's a
up,
lot of
guys.
pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
That's insane. So this Pendlehaven over here, huh?
not looking its best right now.
Yeah.
Nothing's a 1/1.
Yeah.
Well, he's got an ink moth.
Here is a Vesuva. Looks like that's going to copy this Valakut. The One Ring.
Yeah, okay.
A card that we have not seen out of Joe's deck yet. So, very impressive. It's basically just copies 5 through 8 of Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
It only costs 4 mana.
Which the deck has all these copies of Amulet. Why not have extra copies of Titan?
Probably buying Joe a ton of time right
Yeah.
now too. You know, just the protection aspect.
Yeah. Something that I really, really like about this Amulet deck is there's so much redundancy. It's very, very easy to find your copies of your Silver Bullet copies of different
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
And the One Ring being able to just cash in and draw 3 cards right away
All right, we got a ballista.
gives you so many chances to find your Primeval Titans,
Yeah.
to find your Tolaria West so that you can go get your Silver Bullets, etc. The Amulet Titan deck always gets to see all of its cards, basically every game, I think.
So if he leaves Ballista as a 1/1, he could pump it with Pendlehaven, kill something, and
he,
swing in.
he actually can't leave it as a 1/1 because of the Hardened Scales.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
It's
yeah.
always just a 2/2.
That's so. Well, he can make it a 1/1 by removing a counter to kill something.
That's true.
He could hit himself while his opponent has protection from everything.
All right,
That
Joe
is a
is
play you can make.
Joe is going to untap and
Legal-
immediately put a couple more burden counters on the One Ring.
As you do.
He'll
When you're
draw
at
a card.
19.
As one does.
The ring always tempting us.
And I'm sure Joe is thinking, I have to do something right now.
Yeah,
or this
he's
game's
not
over."
wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Like, this Scales deck is terrifying. I feel like we didn't see it actually pop off, but it was so close in that last game to just winning out of nowhere.
I saw it pop off.
No, it did.
When it was moving counters around from the Ozolith
Yeah.
to the Locking Ballista or whatever it was.
It just didn't win.
It popped off.
It almost did, but Joe had the exact right
Joe has
spell.
the ability to just deal you 20 damage out of nowhere, though. So I think both of these decks very much critical mass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once they achieve this, certain number of interactive pieces at the same time, you just die.
Okay, so we've got a pact coming down.
Yep. And we're getting the
Get
dryad.
a dryad. Okay. Interesting. So dryad's a 2/4, yes?
It is a 2/4.
Yes.
Okay. So he's...
Have you guys seen the red splash in the Scales deck before?
No. I don't. What's it for? Just for Zabaz's...
Well, yeah, it's about one of the Zabaz's abilities, but I don't know if they're... Sometimes they maybe Shrapnel Blast or something like that.
Galvanic Blast.
Oh, it's Galv?
Yeah, he has Galvanic
Ooh.
Blast in his sideboard. You had mentioned about Dryad of Elysian Grove being a 2/4, and I was just thinking Galv Blast can kill that, right?
Yeah, Galv Blast can kill that and a player.
So it plays out as Beseiju. Maybe going to cast this Dryad, use his second land drop to pick his Beseiju back up. With that
Yo,
Corey
yeah, I
land.
can see that.
Sure.
What are we doing?
1 mana. He's going to gain a life. Joe back up to 20.
Okay.
Is it a Galvanic Blast?
Did he bring
I'm
one
not
in?
sure.
Oh, it's a Beseiju.
Beseiju's going to take care
He's a
of this.
legendary. He has a legendary creature in play.
Yes, he does. So Joe will get to go get a land with a basic land type.
Forest,
so-
I'm presuming.
Well, I think he's doing this with the Dryad on the stack.
Yes.
Just so it's not a mountain. Whatever he gets is not a mountain.
Yeah.
Where all these other lands are not mountains.
Yeah, that Vesuva is...
But interesting that he is choosing to go after the amulet versus the Dryad itself.
Yeah, I don't know if he realized that Dryad is an enchantment creature.
Um,
I could.
So the context matters
Yeah, it's
so
true.
much.
Yeah.
But I think Amulet is the better card in a vacuum.
Yeah.
And given this current board state, though, that Dryad is very dangerous. So this forest, that's also a mountain, is going to enter play and deal 3 damage to the Walking Ballista.
Okay, so maybe he didn't do it with the Dryad on the stack. Maybe he let the Dryad resolve.
Yeah, because it wouldn't... Oh, wait, we're backing up, because the Dryad's not resolved yet. So, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
okay. We're backing up. Okay, A saw it. Yeah, this is really heads up from A to do this while...
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, maybe he was concerned that he wasn't going to get priority in time to interact with the
Yeah.
Dryad, too.
Because you can't respond to land drops.
Yeah.
And, yeah, correct. I mean, look at that.
Yep. So this Gruul Turf is going to be able to pick up... Nope, he's going to pick up the Valakut.
Interesting.
Oh, no, trigger the
yeah,
Valakut.
now-
Okay. Pick up the Beseiju, right? That's what we're all hoping for.
I believe that's
So-
what
That seems like the play pattern he was set for. Yeah.
Do those channel cards, do they count just legendary creatures, or do they count legendary permanents?
Creatures.
Creatures only.
Creatures and planeswalkers.
Just creatures.
Is it just creatures?
Just creatures,
okay.
yeah.
I'll trust you. I am an idiot.
No, I don't believe that.
Here
but-
is an Ancient Stirrings from the Scales player.
Interesting. Okay, so this is the first time we've seen that card out of the deck.
He played one last turn.
Did he?
Yep, you can see it in the graveyard.
Okay.
there.
It's just so much good card selection in this deck. Like you said, the deck is basically
It's
colorless.
yeah, basically all colorless.
So it gets to either find a land for him that he needs, like if he just wants to have a second copy of Ink Moth, which can absolutely win games out of nowhere, or another Ballista. If he gets an Ozolith off of this thing, it's pretty sick.
I mean,
Looks
if you're
like it's a
in
walking
a-
Yeah.
or is a Haywire Mite?
Might be a Haywire Mite. That'd be a good answer for the
It's either a
raid.
Walking Ballista or a Haywire Mite.
Oh,
I believe he shuffled his library there after. Oh, he put the cards from the Ancient Stirrings on top. We should be able to get this fixed pretty easily.
we're
So
gonna
it-
randomize.
This is a spot, where A is probably feeling like he's dead next turn.
Who? A is?
Yeah.
I don't
if
know.
He's not dead. His Patchwork Automaton
Yeah.
is definitely dead.
That ward not doing a lot in a deck that can produce 1 billion mana.
Right. Now he has to pay for a pact. But he
does have
also
the
going
dice
to
on the
untap
deck,
and
yeah.
draw 3 cards with his ring, and
That's
he's
true.
going to get there if he wants to get there. He's got 2 land drops every turn,
Yeah.
so he needs to get whatever use he can out of the Patchwork Automaton this turn. So-
I mean, is there a world where Joe is just dead here?
I don't know.
There's got to be, right? There has to be some string of like
There probably is, but
Arcbound Ravager. Okay, so if an Arcbound Ravager came down, we could. Okay, well he's just tapping out anyway. So Magic Christmas Cake Land not going to happen this time apparently. So Walking Ballista is going to come down. That'll get 2 counters put on it.
Does he need to just deal with this Dryad? Is there some way to deal with it? Zabaz needs red.
It depends on
mana.
if he has a land in his hand.
I think
or
he
what color
can.
the land
He
is.
well. Okay, so here's something he could do. If he has another mana, he could use Zabaz to destroy itself.
Yeah.
Which would turn the 2 counters that are on the Zabaz into 4 counters on the Walking Ballista, which could then kill the Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
Right.
Yeah, but he would trade the Walking Ballista for it then.
He's trading Zabaz and the Walking Ballista
Yeah.
for it.
Plus his mana, that's a lot. But I mean,
If he modulars over to the Walking Ballista, he can kill the Dryad with 1 counter left on the ballista.
Yeah, it'll have 5 counters on it.
Yeah.
would it? I thought it would just have +1 from the.
So it's going to come into play with 2. Zabaz will modular 2 + 1. It's 5. Zabaz has 2 on it.
Oh, it
right
has
now.
2 counters. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it just had the 1 on it. Okay, it's very hard to see those dice. Oh, we're swinging.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you attack first. Maybe there's a world where he blocks.
Yeah, I don't see that.
If he feels like you have someone just chuck counters onto this thing, maybe he does. But
There's
there's,
no
there's
mana,
nothing like
yeah.
that. Yeah. On the flip side, what if he's just holding a Galvanic Blast?
Oh, yeah.
Hoping that he doesn't block.
I've
Or presenting him the option.
with 3 Galvanic Blasts before.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Not just you. It's been a lot of people. I got
all
bad
these
news
stories
for you.
enter with, yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
That's how they mostly end, you know?
We played a lot of Pauper back in the day, and
We played a lot of everything.
yeah,
Let's be honest.
that's true. I have Galvat.
There's no way that I have not played more Magic with anybody else other than you.
That is probably factual. We jam constantly.
All right, so Walking Ballista just going to come down. He attacks. Did the Dryad blocked?
Yeah,
It did block, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was worried about it.
he respected it. I don't know what he has in hand. Joe, I think just trying to maintain that life total for the ring.
I mean, it seems likely that
Well, if
he
he did,
feels like he's in a pretty good position, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I
why
think-
put himself at risk? You know?
Right.
so he's paying, taking 2 damage, paying for the pack trigger like a good boy. Yeah. Now he's going to draw for turn, probably draw more from the ring. Yeah, we're not tracking life totals on that. On the
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he took any
Yeah,
damage there. But
He did. He wrote it down. So he's going to just casual ancestor recall here.
it could be possible that we had the life totals incorrect, and that's why he blocked. Because
Oh,
we're looking
yeah.
at the companion app, and so he's not using it. Because I felt like he did shoot him with the ballista earlier.
Another
Here's
one ring.
another copy of the One Ring. Let me go just double check their life totals.
So One Ring, gonna give him protection from everything until his next turn.
Yeah, just going cockroach.
Yeah.
You know, until he finds this.
Okay, so he's only at 16. So yeah, so we're cockroaching out. We're Jeremiahing.
Yeah.
We're going. What did we say? Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
He's going full on. Yeah, A just gets to build up even more next turn. Joe's just fully tapped out. He has a decent amount of cards in hand. He just gets to play with him next turn. The fact that the One Ring, you get to have more than one in your deck, and it's legendary, so you can bump one with the other.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't...
Huge flavor
Yeah.
fail.
Soren didn't make more
It
than
should
one.
have said limit 1 per deck.
Yeah.
It just should have said limit 1 per
Right,
deck.
'cause
It's the One Ring.
The Nazgul, you can have 9 of them.
Yeah.
Right. The One Ring, you should have one of
One,
them.
yeah. And if your opponent plays one, you should have to sacrifice yours. Like old school legend rule.
That was the worst legend rule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was back when you played GT to kill GT
Yeah.
in your control deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
You
fair,
played Jace Bellerin to kill Jace the
Jace
Mind Sculptor.
Yeah. The best answer for Jace the Mind Sculptor. I did like the original legend rule from Legends, which was you can only have a single copy of a legend in your deck.
Right, your Linsv kills their Linsv and yours gets to stay.
Yeah.
That's a terrible legend rule too.
So A. Adams did nothing on his
Lindsay?
turn. Played a land and pass. Probably looking to pump some mana into this walking ballista.
Oh, yeah, 4 to pump it.
Yeah.
And it gives it 2 counters.
And it gives it 2 counters.
Probably the best draw in A. Adams' deck is that Ozolith right now.
Oh my god.
That's kind of what I was thinking earlier. Yeah, it's the
Sage comes down.
Ozolith. The Ozolith turns all of your creatures into walking ballista, or not walking ballista. Arcbound Ravager.
Yeah.
You know what'd be really sick is a Soul Cauldron.
If he picks up the Ozolith, he has the Infect Win on his turn.
Yeah.
So he's gonna put 2 counters on it.
So walking ballista will go up to 4 counters.
And he's gonna pop him down to 11.
Yeah, Joe's in trouble.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what's in his hand. He played the Boseiju back out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has
Well, he
some
has
kind of plan.
2. He has the one in play and then the one that's on the stack.
So he's
Oh,
killing
sure.
the Walking Ballista right now, which is probably correct. But also, that Automaton can just go the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, we had talked about earlier. Patchwork Automaton is my favorite card in that limited environment, and it's my favorite card in this deck. I love that little guy.
If he gets Agatha's Soul Cauldron out and he exiles the Ballista under it,
Right.
He can just
it's not a Patchwork Automaton anymore.
It's a machine.
It's a machine gun.
yeah.
So he gets rid of the Walking Ballista and then casts the Summoner's Pact. I think that indicates he's going for the Dryad again, which
Yeah.
he is, because he didn't. He just wanted to protect his Dryad.
So he's already made his land drop this turn, right? So we're not in Primeval Titan. Oh, is that a Gruul Turf
Yeah.
on the left there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in Titan range.
Yes.
So Dryad of the Elysian Grove. It's here.
And it allows him to make another land drop.
Yep.
Oh, but he had to pay for the Dryad.
Looks like
Oh,
there
it's
maybe
a
are
fetch
no
land.
basics in A. Adam's deck to go get.
No.
Interesting.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
didn't-
that makes
he
sense.
Didn't, he didn't get one off.
He had maybe. Yeah, he doesn't. With land, they have to have basic land types.
So it
And
looks
I
like
think
we're modulating some counters over. The Zabaz got targeted by this
Valakut trigger. Yeah. And then I'll have another Valakut trigger coming.
Did you pick up the Boseiju?
No, the Boseiju is still in play. There's one in the graveyard, one in play.
Yeah.
There's a
Arboreal
Vesuva.
Grazer.
And that is that a Vesuva to copy the Valakut?
Yeah.
Yes. So now every land deals 6 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all mountains. Ugh.
Still did do an Ozolith here.
As a
Probably.
forest.
Well, no, he's got the reach on the Grazer.
He doesn't have a way to sacrifice the automaton anymore.
Yeah.
That Soul
So-
Cauldron would be sick right here.
Even what he needs is a Ravager or
Yeah.
a Ozolith. That's what he needs. Walking Ballista.
Cauldron would be very good here too.
Yeah. Patchwork Automaton. Gonna jump out into the street, and Arboreal Grazer is gonna
Murder a Blocks Diamond.
gonna take the damage. Head back over to Joe. Both players tied at 11 here. Joe's gonna take 2
9.
damage and go down to 9 from his One Ring.
Pay
He's
for
got a
that pact
pact
trigger.
a pact trigger to pay for. And another land drop here wins the game.
Yeah, it's hard to see him not winning from this position when he's got a ring. He's going to be drawing 3 cards off of a ring.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
So he's got the land drop from this Verdant Catacombs,
Yep.
yeah.
and then he just needs a second land.
Which, I mean, he could just have 2 lands in hand. He's going to draw 3 off.
Well, I
the ring.
believe these decks play between 28 and 32 lands, so chances are if he's got multiple cards in his hand, several of them are probably lands.
He has not cast a Primeval Titan this game either. So,
Yeah, he
2.
could play a land to cast a Primeval Titan win.
yeah.
This is rough.
There's a
So-
land right there. It's a bounce land, so it's going to counts as 2 basically.
Right, he
Take him
gets
to 5.
Yep, he gets to pick up a land. and
Wow.
then play another one again. It's going to be the Boseiju he'll pick up. And there is the
Seagore.
Mike's,
That's it.
Wow.
Those rings bought Joe so much time in
Yep.
these games.
They
you
bought
know.
him time, they drew him cards, they did
Yeah.
everything. That card
They did.
seems like a design mistake.
It's like I said, it's filling the role of Primeval Titans copies 5 through 8, and when
Yeah.
you consider that there's Summoners packs in the deck as well, you really have 12 copies of your win condition.
Jesus.
Yeah. And notably, never even used a prime time in that game.
Yeah,
No,
didn't need it.
Didn't need one. All he
No.
needed was the ring.
And Valakut closed the gap. like being able that Valakut as a way to go to bridge the gap in a victory seems so clutch.
It's weird when you think about it, but it's the grindier mode of the deck.
Yeah. If they get like a bridge down and just kind of lock things up
It's
from the
ensnaring bridge.
Yeah.
Sorry, your Primeval Titan can never attack again. All right, so Joe is going to take this one down, but that's okay. A's team can still win the round. There's still Legacy and Pioneer being played right next to them. We'll be back with round 6.
Hell yeah, brother.
In just a little bit.